Now, here's another thing I bet people don't even realize. Companies change. If you don't adjust to them, you can end up behind without even noticing it. This one thing right here catches a lot of people because when they first start with the company, everything is going fine. You're learning the system, you're getting assignments, you're figuring out how they like things to be done. Cool. But over time, requirements change. So that's what we're going to talk about today. When the company actually changes, when things actually change and you have no control over it, what do you do? Over time, requirements change. Instructions change. Expectations change. Maybe now they want more detailed photos. Maybe documentation has changed. Maybe turnaround time got tighter. Maybe they changed, right, how they want things uploaded into their system. Maybe they changed the whole setup. And here's how people mess up. They keep doing things the old way. All right, y'all didn't hear me. Things change, but you are set in your mind. Well, this is how I always did it. Okay, but is that how they want it now? That's the question. Because what got you by 6 months ago may not work today. And let me say this because I already know somebody gonna get defensive. It never fails. Please stop taking correction like somebody is attacking you. Okay? I see that too much. Somebody tell folks, hey, can you start doing it this way? And immediately people are in their feelings. They always changing stuff. They doing too much. Well, I've been doing it this way. Okay. But if they're paying you for the work and they changed expectations, then guess what? You gotta adjust. That's business. Because while somebody is sitting there frustrated, refusing to adapt, guess what else is happening? Somebody else is already adjusted and moved on. And guess who starts getting more work? The person that makes things easier. It's just what it is. So now this next one. Some people are not gonna like this part either. But I gotta say it. Y'all know me. I just say stuff. All right? Some people start moving like the work is guaranteed. Oh, y'all didn't even hear me. Some of y'all move like the work is guaranteed. And baby, let me tell you, that right there gonna humble you real fast. You start getting regular assignments. Things moving good. Inbox active, your system full of work. And after a while, people start acting like, oh, I got this. They stop moving with urgency. Right? Comfortable. We've talked about that. They stop checking things carefully. They stop responding the same as they did before. The sharpness that was there in the beginning, gone. It's gone. It's gone. It is out of here. Now, you just going through the motions. And if we're being honest, sometimes comfort makes people lazy. I said it. Hope I ain't step on no toes because I'm only, once again, speaking from experience. I've been comfortable too. Comfort makes people lazy. Not lazy as a person, but lazy with habits. You not as detailed anymore. Your details ain't mattering that much to you. You rushing over stuff faster than you normally would. You are assuming more when it's actually less than what they're expecting of you. You not double checking your stuff no more. You think you got it now. So what you double checking for, right? And the problem is you may not notice the difference, but the company does. Okay? And this business got a funny way of humbling folks who start feeling too secure. Because there is always somebody hungry. That new person is always somebody who's way hungrier than you are right now. Always. Somebody trying to prove themselves. Somebody responding faster. Somebody turning in cleaner work than you are right now. Somebody trying to get into the position that you already got comfortable in. That's why I tell people all the time, never move like the work is guaranteed. What you need to be doing is appreciating it, and you need to respect it. And of course, you need to stay professional. But don't ever get too relaxed with this job, because the moment the companies start thinking they don't seem as dependable as they used to, that shift can happen faster than you think. Okay, so we're going to talk about another thing that people overlook. That's that pressure. Because anybody can look good when everything is easy. Anybody. Low volume. We talking low volume. We talking plenty of time. No stress. No issues at all. Cool. All right. But what happens when things do pick up? What happens when deadlines get tighter? What happens when multiple inspections start to stack up in your system? What happens when there's confusion, changes, problems? We ain't even gonna talk about reschedules. What happens? How do you handle that sort of pressure? Because this is where companies really learn people and what they're built to do. Do you fall apart? Or do you get overwhelmed quickly? Do you start missing deadlines? Do you start running and turning in messy work? Or do you stay steady? Not perfect, okay, none of that, because nobody's perfect, but steady. Because if somebody sees that every time things get busy, your performance starts to drop, that sticks with people. And people remember that, okay? And listen, I am not saying don't be human, okay? We all get overwhelmed sometimes. I get overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed. Life happens. Stuff happens. But if stress becomes your normal operating system every single time the volume starts to increase, that becomes a problem, because companies want people that they can depend on when things get busy. That is when they really are paying attention to you. So don't get under the impression that I am saying that you have to just chase, because remember now, you signed a contract to do work for these people. You are providing a service for them. That means that there's no such thing, or should at least not be a such thing, as you having to run around and all of a sudden it starts to feeling like a 9-to-5 job. That's not what I'm saying. But in the contract, these underwriters for the insurance itself, these people need this stuff turned in. They don't need to be having to wait until you finally decide that you want to start doing your work correctly. And even if you are turning it in on time, if you are turning in all of these problems and messing up all of this stuff and just not getting it right, come on now. If that's you, you really do need to think about it, because at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, if you are some sort of entrepreneur out here in these streets and you are doing another type of work, it does not matter what it is. If you look bad to your customer, okay, to your customer who you're providing a service for, they will drop you. It's the same thing. It's all just business. So now I want you guys to hear me on this, okay? At least some of you who are still here and paying attention, kudos to you. Because this right here will sneak up on folks. Okay, patterns create your reputation. So let me explain what I mean. If your name becomes connected to needs corrections, missing information, late, hard to reach, needs follow-up, after a while, company starts expecting problems from you. And once those expectations shift, it's hard to fix that. Because now every time your name comes up, somebody already thinking, hopefully everything's there. Let me double check this. Sally sent this in. She known to leave some stuff out. Deidre turned this in. I hope her pictures are not blurry. That's exactly what happens. That is not where you want to be. You want people thinking, oh, good, they got it. They got it. I'll check this one. I know she's right. I'll check this one. I know he got it on lock. He always makes sure his work is done. That's the reputation you want. Easy, reliable, and professional. And I know this conversation may sound uncomfortable for some people. That's fine. That's fine. Because I'd rather people hear this now than 6 months from now and being confused and wondering what happened when they're not getting into work. Because sometimes, you see, people really are good inspectors. Most of the time they're good inspectors. But bad habits start creeping in, right? And nobody told them. I think that's what bothers me sometimes. Because I see people with potential hurting themselves over stuff because I mentor. So I see this happening all the time where people have potential, but they're hurting themselves, okay, over stuff that can easily be fixed. This ain't about perfection at all, okay? And I want to make that clear. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. You're going to make mistakes sometimes. You're going to mix stuff up. You're going to miss stuff. You're going to be human. That's life. Okay, it's not about any of that. It's about patterns. Are mistakes becoming your pattern? Or are you learning and improving at the same time? You should learn from every mistake you make in life, period. And it's no different when it comes to this job. So now here's the part that I think catches people off guard the most. The signs are usually there. People just don't pay attention. Maybe you're not getting the better assignments anymore. The best ones that you were normally getting, maybe you're not seeing those like that anymore. Maybe you used to wake up to multiple assignment emails. Now it's one here and maybe one there, maybe two at the end of the week. Maybe you notice longer gaps in how much they're uploading work to you. Maybe you used to be the first in rotation and now it feels different. And instead of asking, okay, all right, let me be honest with myself. Has something changed with me? People instantly start blaming everything else. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. I don't know if I step on some toes, but I'm going to say it. People start blaming everything else. The company, the economy, other inspectors, everybody. And once again, sometimes there are outside factors. Absolutely there are. But don't ignore your own patterns either. Please don't. Because sometimes the answer is sitting right there in front of you. And if you catch it early enough, you can fix it. That's the good news. This is not one of those situations where, oh, well, everything's ruined. Oh, okay, well, I guess I can cut that loose. I guess I can scratch that. That is not how this works. No, sometimes all it takes is for you to tighten back up. Checking yourself, being honest, improving communication, being more consistent with your work, paying attention to detail again, getting back to moving the way you moved when you first wanted the opportunity. But sometimes that's all it takes. So let me say it again. Get back to how you were moving when you first wanted the opportunity and didn't let comfort take over. And if I could leave y'all with anything in this video, it will be, of course, to protect, once again, your reputation. Seriously. Protect it at all costs. Because in this line of work, people remember experiences. They remember who makes life easier. They remember who communicates. They remember who turns in solid work. And they also remember who creates stress. And that's just the truth. So if you've been wondering, why did things change? Or maybe, just maybe, you're trying to make sure this never happens again. If it has already happened to you, just take a step back. Really, it's very simple. Take a step back and really think about your habits. Ask yourself, am I still consistent? Am I still detailed? Am I still responsive? Am I still moving like I value this opportunity? Because if the answer is yes, good. Keep going. But if you know your habits slipped, you need to fix it now. Because you end up looking in your inbox wondering, okay, why things ain't moving the way they used to. Because once the momentum changes, getting back in heavy rotation can take some work. And that's the truth. I would much rather you stay ahead of the problem than have to figure out how to recover from it later. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.